To it, Didi. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. 2025 was an incredible year for UCSS. We thank all of you guys for tuning in on a daily basis. And we hope to make 2026 even better with some of your feedback. We'll talk about some of those options coming up, but we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, help UCSS reach as many people as possible. Guys, at 3:30 this afternoon, the Cavs tip off against the Phoenix Suns in their first game against Jordan Ott. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with Jordan Ott, he was Kenny Atkinson's lead assistant last year, got the head coaching job with the Phoenix Suns, and surprisingly, Phoenix, I don't think any of us saw this coming, has a better record than the Cavaliers right now. We saw on Monday Cleveland beat up the Spurs in arguably their best win of the season. So, G, do you think this is a start of a new trend for Cleveland where they can actually put together and stack good performance after good performance, or will this be a kind of repeat from what we've seen earlier where they have a good win and they take their foot off the gas and follow it up in a disappointing fashion?
I hope it is because, frankly, the Cavs have too much talent to be, wallowing where they are. That's the biggest disappointment to me is, this team has way too much talent. We can argue back and forth whether or not Evan Mobley is going to be some super duper duper upper top player or whether Darius Garland is a max guy. The reality is, they got 4 guys who've been all-stars in this league. They got guys who've been all-NBA guys in this league. And it's not the guys that are on the bench that are letting them down. It's the guys that are their core forward. So those guys need to take the lead. Those guys need to be the people that pull the team. And there's no way that they should have the same record as the Phoenix Suns. But I will say this. Anything could be a catalyst for getting this thing moving. I thought that they played one of their best games, and the most encouraging thing about the game against the Spurs McNuggets was the fact that a lot of them didn't even play up top. Like Donovan,
was that a season low in his points?
It's the first time they've won a game where Donovan hasn't been awesome all season.
Yeah,
you see, so that's encouraging to say. Okay, well, look, hey, if we can get that type of performance. And Donovan is 3 of 12 with 10 points, but Jared Allen is the leading scorer. I mean, the Cavs can compete with everybody they want to in the East, but they have to do it consistently. Like, we talk about the Browns all the time. They're playing a bunch of young dudes and dusting. Consistency is tough for rookies. But these guys is veterans.
Dude.
They're supposed to be able to bring it.
They should be able to bring it. And I don't know why we haven't seen this team compete at the level they should this year. It's kind of funny. I'm not that worried about them, even though they're not winning right now. It's kind of nice that they're not having they're not like on a 22-game winning streak, as it feels like they are in most years with this core 4. I'm just waiting until we get to about February around the All-Star break to see where we're at.
See if there's another
see if there's a move to be made or if somebody steps up. I'm kind of in wait and see mode. Like, honestly, they're playing today. I got tickets. I'm selling them. I'm going to go and watch football.
Really?
I don't care about this game today.
Wow, that's interesting. Mike, I haven't talked to you since their win against the Spurs. When I left here Monday, I was very down on them. I said they were going to get boat raced. I thought that Wemby was going to absolutely control the pace and the tempo. I haven't talked to you, Mike, but I'm going to make just a random statement, and I want to see if I'm off base. To me, that looked like the kind of physicality that they're going to need to play with in the playoffs. And what was really encouraging to me was, I don't know if that, maybe you have insight on this. To me, my hope is that the message of playing physically finally resonated, and they went out and they put it to the test, and they got great results. I thought that's as physical as I've seen them play all year.
The Cavs have been beyond frustrating this season because you don't get the same Cavs team night in and night out.
I know.
And against Houston, whatever that was, that Friday?
Yeah, they looked awful.
Coming off the Knicks game where they played very good for 44 minutes, collapsed on the stretch. But you could leave that game saying, the collapse sucked, but we played, for the most part, a good basketball game. And they go against Houston, who's a bad matchup for them, and going into that matchup, you better come physical and ready to play because that is the most physical team in basketball.
And they didn't.
And they wilted.
Yeah.
And then they flipped the switch, and all of a sudden they look and at least resemble the team we think they could be.
Am I right, though, about the physicality?
I think it was the most physical, and especially from the backcourt, because Wemby's huge, but it's not like Wemby's a physical enforcer from he's going to outmuscle you standpoint.
But he's a presence.
But Mike,
he's unbelievably. What's up, Will?
Let me make a point. I don't completely agree with you because
I didn't even get to my point, so what do you disagree with?
Well, first of all, they didn't just you. Go ahead, finish your point, and then I'll jump in.
My point is, they responded, but they've responded in one-game spurts before.
Yeah,
I don't
you got to
care
see
about
it
a
for
one-game
stretch.
spurt. They have to put a few of these performances together before I'm going to change my overall outlook on this team.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm definitely
And
not
today's
gonna
a
change my
good.
mind
Today's
with
a
one
team.
game.
Phoenix is a team that has the makeup of teams that they've struggled against in the past.
Yes,
They
that's
need
true.
to come out and play with the same level of physicality, intensity, energy, especially on defensive end of the court. Tonight or this afternoon, it's a 3:30 tip-off. For me to start feeling, I still don't feel good about the Cavs. So it was a great win on Monday.
Yeah.
But they've had a couple one-off good wins. Bull, what do you disagree with?
Well, what I was going to say was, first of all, I think you just gave them a moral victory in a game they choked against the Knicks, which I don't understand. They choked that game away.
I don't know that he gave him a moral victory,
Well,
but
Mike,
I would
speak for yourself. Did you give them a moral victory?
No, they choked, but they played pretty good for the majority
Here's what
of the
they
game.
did.
cares?
I thought they proved that they are on the Knicks level.
Yeah.
Now, they don't get points
you
because they
actually
lost the
prove-
game. They choked. But when I was watching for the first 44 minutes of that game, I said, yeah, we could play with the Knicks.
I don't know.
And going into that game, I didn't think we could.
I think nothing you do in the regular season proves anything.
Well,
Nothing.
we've seen that. Do you
Yeah,
know when the
let
Cavs,
me ask you this.
the
Would you
Cavs
bet-
are 2 losses away from matching their loss total from last year?
Yes.
All of last year.
Would you bet on the Spurs to beat the Thunder in the playoffs right now?
Nope.
I would not, even though they're 3-0 against them. this
Okay,
season.
so that's
No.
what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And number two, it's not like listen, Mobley played a good game against the Spurs. Jared Allen played one of his best games. They didn't play a great game as a team against the Spurs. They played fine. I think the Spurs were just terrible that game.
I just thought
mean,
they took it to him physically. I felt like they went out that night. And
can't-
again, one night, I think they went out and said, we're going to play physical tonight and see what happens.
I think you don't prove anything. It's not about proof. It's about building good habits. And to win at the highest level, you have to have good habits. And those are the things that'll keep. Now,
Well, didn't they have good habits last year going into the playoffs?
Here's the thing. You can have great habits.
Yeah.
You can have great habits and still lose. And you have to have the foundation, though. So for me, I want to see if the Cavs play hard defensively, they rotate, they do the things that they need to do, share the basketball. Then if they just not making shots that game, like I said, they didn't miss no shots. It was make or miss. But the thing that I was disappointed in the Cavs is they haven't had the same level of intensity defensively. And I was going to tell you this. I'm always a person that goes back and reflects. Let me tell you that, let me give you this about. I actually do think he's not a world beater, but I'm going to tell you why they really actually miss Max Strus. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, he is, first of all, he's a guy that I think needs to motivate DeAndre Hunter. Because the minutes that DeAndre Hunter is guaranteed is not guaranteed if Max Strus is here. I think he could do 2 or 3 things. I think he rebounds very well for a guard. I think he's a dude that is going to give you intensity. And the thing I like about him most, and McNuggets, you could tell about this, is the way they go about doing things in Miami is a little bit different. The way that Pat Riley goes about it, the mentality that he brings to the table, I think that they miss him in terms of not just on the court. I just think they miss just the mentality of, hey,
he's a dog.
Yeah, he brings everybody together, and if you can get him and Jalen Tyson, and you can get now DeAndre Hunter, who knows, hey, listen, if you ain't playing well, we just play Strus.
Well, G, let me ask you this. I agree with everything you just said.
I think they miss him a lot,
I generally
by the
do.
way.
Kenny Atkinson has said something since the first day he got there that I agree with just from a philosophical standpoint in terms of creating a basketball team. You need a little crazy on the court.
Yeah, he is.
Darius,
I like that.
Very talented player,
Chill.
not a crazy guy. Donovan gets into spurts where he can be, but for the most part, he's calm, cool, collected. You know what you're getting from Don, not crazy. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley,
No, not even close to crazy.
sometimes you think they flatlined.
Yes.
Not crazy. The crazies on the Cavs are Jalen Tyson, and I mean the crazy is a compliment. in this
Yes.
Yes.
I know what you're saying.
and Max Strus.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 wild cards on a night in, night out basis where their energy alone can flip the momentum of a game, can flip the energy of the game,
Yeah.
can flip a certain lineup that may look lackluster, and all of a sudden they come in, hit 2 threes, and they're picking up full court. They'll pick up a hard foul, running through a screen, stand over the defender, and say, get the F. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have a lot of guys on this roster. And Thomas Bryant also. He doesn't play enough, but
Yeah.
he fits into the crazy category. I think this Cavs team, and I've been preaching for more Thomas Bryant minutes for that exact reason.
Yeah.
Could use a little sprinkle of crazy, and there's not a easier answer to get more crazy into these lineups than Max Strus getting healthy.
You made a great point Monday. You said if the Cavs just up their three-point shooting percentage just a little, and they've been bad. And I went and looked after you said it, after the show Monday. I said, let me go see. And you were not wrong.
No,
and teams like individuals get in streaks. They sometimes it's just players can be shooting in a streak, but teams can do that too. This team's been in a shooting funk. And if they begin to shoot like they did last year, or even close to that,
just league average. Just get to league average.
Get to league average, and it's a much different feel around this club.
And two people that can do it. Sam Merrill's been injured all year.
Strus is coming.
And Strus is another guy that can shoot at a high clip.
What's Strus' status? Do we know?
Fedor put out a article the other day with an update on Max Strus, which was sometime in the next 2 months. So it was just loose of a. But they said when he initially got hurt, they said around the All-Star break.
Right.
So that still fits the. It's not like an
Still
extended timeline.
Yeah.
It's still the same timeline, but there's no specific update. You know what's crazy?
What's his injury again? I don't even remember.
He broke his 5th metatarsal, which is a little tiny bone in your foot.
Don't sleep on it, though.
It is one of the most debilitating. And the bone, I'm literally holding. You can see it. The bone's like this big.
Yeah.
You can walk through, Dustin. You're good.
But, boy, it's painful.
It takes out the world's best athletes
Man.
for significant periods of time for a bone that's like less than an inch big.
By the way, folks, I want to see some good memes of Mike and now me doing this. There's going to be some good memes.
Hey, there's two injuries. Like, if they say, okay, you got a Liz Frank injury, and you'd be like, man,
That's
not anymore, though. Not anymore.
No, they've come a long way.
Yeah. Where's that name come from, by the way? Anybody know? Liz
It's
Frank?
the doctor.
The doctor that did the surgery, I think.
Who's the dude that used to always do the ACLs?
Dr. Andrews.
Yeah,
James
Dr.
Andrews.
Yeah,
James
Birmingham.
Andrews. Hey, listen, when James Andrews is out of here, somebody got to fill that void. He's like the Woj
There's
of
other guys
doctors.
now.
Yeah, Andrews is retired. Or
there's other guys now.
He doesn't cut anymore. It's all his residence.
He's like, hey, when they used to hit you, he's scheduled for surgery on a Thursday. Dr.
James Andrews is going down to Birmingham.
Flying down there.
Yeah.
I'm like, you act like James Andrews when he do it. You gonna be back in 2 months.
Yeah, I know.
No, that ACL 6 months, bro.
But the foot is not anything to sleep on.
No blood goes there. There's no blood flow.
No blood flow.
You can't.
Suns, by the way, have won 5 of 6. 4 of those 5 wins are against the terrible teams.
Mike, do you got a feel on this one way or another? I think they win.
They cover the 5.5, Mikey?
He wants to know the line.
They're going to cover the 5.5?
I can't tell you with any confidence whatsoever to place any money on the Cavaliers.
Because you don't know which team is going to show up.
Betting on the Cavs right now, it's a coin flip. Every time.
They have the
year,
worst
they were the
record in
best
the league against the spread.
Wouldn't shock me.
I don't know, but I do know last year they had the best record in the league against the
They
spread.
did. I bet you they got the worst or one of the worst.
This year it has to. No, Atlanta's the worst. I heard this on a podcast the other day.
Okay.
They're like 3-32 against the spread or some absurd.
No, that's impossible.
While we're getting better,
It's I'll find the exact number, but
I got it right now.
yeah,
Worst record
Atlanta.
against the spread. No, you're wrong.
Is it New Orleans?
Against the spread, it's the Cavs at 11-23. They're the worst record against the spread.
I thought
Atlanta's 16-18. I'm looking at it right now.
There you go. I heard wrong.
well, listen, I got to get.
So I would not put any money in the Cavs. Would not feel confident.
So
with
Dustin,
it.
In fact, you're smart to bet against them.
I got a friend who wants some little action.
What's he need?
Bills Jets.